People don't realise how important money is.
Bro, it's the third most important thing.
I think it's the first. Fuck the third.
You think?
Yeah, because
ahead of family and health?
Yeah, well, health aside, but money. Without money, you wouldn't even be able to feed your family. It was good. Like the turnover was massive, so there was like 50k revenue plus every month. It was good.
Do you want to just give us a little bit of a backstory to obviously your relationship, how you came into business together, and then obviously the situation you're in now?
Mate, horrible and toxic. What else am I supposed to speak about? Your business is a mess. You're literally crumbling. Like you're in a dark, deep hole. Who else is going to tell you what to do and how to fix it? Like I'm literally telling you what to do to fix your business, to help you as your partner. There was too much flow and that already took place. And it took place, I think, 2-3 weeks ago anyway, but I let it slide. So I get a call from the police and they're like, there's been an allegation of assault. I'm like, what? I'm like, you're joking? I've never touched a girl. And they go, yeah, we advise you to stay away from her. If you were there any longer, you would have been arrested. I'm like, arrested?
Did you do anything wrong?
Yo guys, welcome back to the Gooms Podcast. Today, we had an interesting conversation with a property entrepreneur, Shamil Mae. We spoke about building his property business to 50k per month, dealing with messy relationships, and why leaving the UK to move to Bali has more opportunities, and much, much more. We're currently on the road to 5k subscribers, so make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, drop a comment, and enjoy the episode.
How long have you been in property, and what do you do in property?
Yeah, so in property 5 years now, just over 5 years now, I believe. I do service accommodation, so short lets, so Airbnb. I started off with property management, then I just shifted towards getting my own portfolio and just scaling up that way. And I just did the rent and rent model, which is where you lease a property rather than buy. You just scale it that way, so a lot more easier to get into. It's really good.
How did you get into it?
So I used to work at a marketing agency. So I used to do SEO and social media. So whilst I was working there, I built a property management business. Obviously at that time I had 0 properties. So I started to rank it on Google for Airbnb management Birmingham. So then I got my first lead, got that, then my second. And it just grew from there. And obviously the money I earned from there, I started to put towards the side. I think after a year, then I got my own first unit. Then I did 2 JVs at the start, and then I just scaled from there. So I literally started off with management of other people's properties for Airbnb. And then I got some money and started doing my own. So a bit of a story to get into it.
Well, one thing quickly before we get into that is something that I kind of found a bit of a hurdle with is when you put forward the idea of a company let to a landlord or mainly an agent.
Yeah.
A lot of them just throw it back in your face. Yeah,
we got that a lot. Like especially when I started, it was a lot easier. It's a lot harder now.
People weren't as scared.
It's a lot harder now. Yeah. We got loads of no's, but I think out of the whole of Birmingham, there's probably 2 agents that I know that would accept it, but no one else would. So even the ones that said yes, I still use them to this day. So it's really hard to find them, but once you do find them, it's better. But the way to get them is target the smaller agents, not the large national chains. Like, I don't want to name them, but if you target them at big groups, they're definitely going to say no.
Because they don't need you.
Yeah, they don't need you, and they can find a tenant. But if you target the smaller ones and try and build that relationship and say, look, you've got 2-3 houses on your books, and we take them all, they'll just say yeah. And it's all about trust at the start. Like, at the start, it's very hard.
Especially when you don't have credibility.
Especially when you have zero properties and no backing or anything. But there's ways around that you can offer like 3 months up front or do a deal, or say I'll take a few off your books or add a guarantor, which is what I've done on most of mine. I've got a guarantor because they wouldn't give me a property. So I had no choice. It's either I lose a deal or I just get a guarantor. I just chose a guarantor.
What about the agent says yes, but the landlord's uncertain?
Landlord will always follow through with the agency because that's why they're employing the agent. So the landlords are more easier to convince. It's the agent that's the hardest thing to convince. You can easily convince a landlord to say, yeah, like, I've got loads of them. It's hard to convince an agent because the issue is if you, for a couple, you make a mistake, it falls back on them and then it looks bad on them and then goes back to the landlord. So it's really bad. But if you go straight with the landlord direct to landlord, if you do for a couple, you miss a rent, it's not going to affect anyone. You just got to rebuild it and pay back. So there's differences to both, but I enjoy the two different people. But I prefer landlords anyway. They're just better.
Your first deal, I want to ask you about it. Did you do any like deal sourcing to build up the liquid, or was it savings from your previous job? No.
Yeah, good question actually. I wish I did, but I didn't do deal sourcing at that time. And the reason being is because at that time, deal sourcing was such a whole new business. Like, you've got to get all these insurances and checks in place. And I didn't want to do all that just to scrape a few thousand. I wanted to go straight deep in. So my first proper union was a JV. So me and my friend, we both put $2,500 in. And we got a 1-bed. And that's how we basically did it. So I did a joint venture, essentially.
And how did it go?
So that one actually failed after a year or so, I'll be honest with you. We took it on just after COVID, I think it was, or just during COVID. And it was a 1-bed, and 1-beds aren't really the best.
Yeah.
And I think because it was still COVID season, it was really shit and it was struggling, man. We managed to get through. We still paid the rent on time and stuff. But it just wasn't making profit, no matter how much we did. We obviously had loads of bookings come through and stuff, but then mine and his relationship sort of failed as well. So that broke apart, and obviously we stopped being friends, and that sort of drifted. So we basically split the furniture and basically gave that property back to the landlord. But that was a learning curve for me. Like, that was my first joint venture in property anyway. It was a massive learning curve. So
what did you learn?
Like, money does change people, and especially when the money goes down, it affects both parties. So obviously, because none of us were making a return from that property, it was affecting us both. And because it was COVID season, we were relying on the income from that to carry on going. So that's one. And two, because we were friends and the business was going bad, it sort of messed our relationship up as friends. We're friends now after like 2-3 years, yeah. But after that, we didn't speak for ages.
It's funny you say that.
Did you fall out?
Yeah, we fell out. So
just because the SA did bad?
Yeah, so the business thing went bitter and it went bad, and then obviously me and him had arguments, and I was like, it was this, that, and he goes, oh yeah, I thought you knew what you blah blah. It was just loads of bickering. And then after that deal, I went on to get my own unit. He went on to get his own. So we both started our own companies. And then he sort of started his own portfolio. I did mine. So then we thought he was in competition with each other. And it was like a rivalry.
It came a bit sour.
Yeah, it came really sour. There was a lot of rivalry. And part of my deal was, because of that one fell through, I was going to give him another deal, because I'm just that person. So I gave him a property deal, and he still has that to this day, which is good. You basically split apart. And then as he started to build his company, I was like, hang on, you're literally copying everything that I'm doing. And it was really annoying, because he was annoying me at the time. Obviously now I'm a bit different, I'm a bit more mature. But at that time I was like, mate, you're copying everything that I'm doing. The style, the interior, the bed, the design. Like, you're literally replicating it. It's a bit of a piss take. So that annoyed me. And that's what sort of, we didn't stay friends for years. And only now, as we're really old now, we're really mature. Like, mate, it's fine, it's business. Like, you're going to do what you're going to do. So if we're friends now. But that was a key learning curve.
I was going to say, I think it shows obviously the friendship, and I think it also shows the level of friendship that me and you actually have. Because I think in our darkest times of the business, the lowest of lows, that's when we came together the most.
It's funny you say that. I could say the exact same about my ex-missus. So like when her business went down, is when it started to affect the relationship as well. And it's really weird, because it always happens when money's down. Like, you lose a friend when money's down, you lose a partner when money's down. It affects so much. People don't realise how important money is.
Bro, it's the third most important thing.
I think it's the first. Fuck the third.
You think?
Yeah, because
ahead of family and health?
Yeah, well, health aside, but money. Without money, you wouldn't even be able to feed your family or even give them food or water. So like, what are you gonna do? Sit there and starve?
I hear you. I do hear you.
Like, you can have all the love in the world and family, but if you ain't got a penny, they're all gonna die anyway.
I hear that.
And it's
a bit more of an aggressive approach.
No, but it's so true though. Like, everyone says, family first and love first, but like, if you really look deep down, if you're sat in a room and you have like all the family there, but not a penny to buy the coffee from the vending or the food, you're just gonna sit and starve and just rot away.
I hear that, but I also think what about if you've got all the money in the world?
Well,
and you don't have your family, you don't have your health.
Well, this is the thing. I was watching a video.
What's more detrimental?
Yeah, I was watching a video on that, and I think money is just an amplifier of things. It amplifies whatever you've got. So if you've got money, you can do more things with your family and go on holidays and make their life better. Yeah. If you don't, you're just going to struggle. I think it's just an amplifier. So if you're happy now, you're going to be more happier. If you're sad, I think it should make you more happy, really.
Yeah. I hear you, bro. I mean, I was going to hold off a little bit, but I mean, you touched on the missus. It's not really been long. I mean, we've connected through socials in the last couple of weeks, isn't it? And I've seen all the stuff that you've got going on or had going on.
Yeah.
Do you want to just give us a little bit of a backstory to, obviously, your relationship, how you came into business together, and then obviously the situation you're in now?
Yeah, 100%, mate. Really good story, actually. Like, I think this is one of the stories I remember for the rest of my life, to be fair. So I used to live in Bali. I was living there for a whole year. And then I had to come back to the UK to sort my business out. And I had to rush back and sack all my staff, basically. I had to restructure things. And I had to leave my dog in Bali, so that sort of really hurt me. And that was the saddest time of my life. I had to leave my dog behind in another country whilst I had to fly back. So I flew back to England after leaving Bali. I was in England for 2 months. The first month I was restructuring my business, sacked all my staff, re-employed new staff. And then in month 2 I met this girl. And the reason why I met her was because she followed me on Instagram and I followed her. And we're both in the same field, so we're both in property, we're both in Airbnb. And she was like, oh wow, you went to Bali? I was like, yeah, I did. And she goes, oh, I've always wanted to go there. And we just started talking from there about property and business, and we just got chatting. And then we met up for coffee, and she's really, really good. I was like, wow, this girl's insane. So obviously I was only in England for the next 2 to 3 months. So in month 2, month 3, we started meeting up. And it was amazing, man. I've never met someone that's so entrepreneurial, but on the same level as you.
You just clicked?
Yeah, we just clicked like that. It was mental. I've never clicked with someone like that in my life. Like, every time we'd meet, the convo would just go on. It wouldn't stop. I was like, shit. And then I said to her, look, I need to go back to Bali now to go get my dog. Do you want to come? She's like, yeah. I was like, shit. I was like, no way. So we went to Bali, got my dog, had the best time ever with her, obviously, and the dog. Brought the dog back, and obviously my dog had an accident on the way back with her legs. Her legs got caught in the escalator. So we had to basically...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so we had to like go to vets, and then on the plane, my journey back was a nightmare. But then when we came back to England, obviously I used to live in a flat and she used to live in a house. So at that time, when we got back to England, the first place we had to go was the vet. And the closest place to the vets from the ferry was her house. So we went to the vets near her house, went to the vets, sorted her leg out, got her bandaged, got her sanitised, and then basically she had to stay somewhere where she could be looked after and taken care of and in a nice environment. So we both agreed it'd be better for her to stay at her house and I move in with her. So I basically moved in with this girl straight away.
After like 3-4 months?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, we had no choice because it was a dog. So straight after meeting, we obviously built a really good connection. Like, we were both in business and we were both on the same level. But the dog thing as well, like, it was the best place for her. So obviously we got into a relationship after that, and it was really good for the first, like, I think 6 months. Amazing. Had the best time ever. Really, really good. And then obviously, I'll skip all the boring stuff, but towards the end of the relationship, her business got affected slightly. So there was a lot of debt and investors, and I don't want to talk bad on her, but there was a lot of money involved and debt involved. And it started to affect the relationship. So, like, I could see her getting stressed, and obviously I'm getting stressed on her behalf, but my way of dealing with stress is so different. So the way I deal with stress and money, whatever it is, I take it full head on and fix it.
Yeah.
Her way as a female to deal with the stress is to ignore it and take her mind off it.
Emotional.
Yeah, which is really...
I was just going to say, literally emotional versus...
Which is really weird. So I'll give you an example. So rather than her sitting down and working on the business to fix it, to recover, or to get some more money brought in, her idea was, let me go out to meet some friends in London and go and enjoy my day and do some content, go on a walk. I'm like, mate, your fucking business is crumbling and you're going to go film some social media content. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So I was saying that to her, and she was like, oh, you're controlling me now. I'm not fucking controlling it. I'm trying to tell you, sort your business out and then go do that. So then it was a lot of tit-for-tat, a lot of arguing. She started saying that. There was a lot of resentment being built. And then obviously it started really...
You're still living together?
Yeah, we're still living together at this point, but I could see that we're crumbling. Like, we're arguing a lot. There's a lot of tension in the house. It's not like it was before we moved in. It was happy days. It wasn't, mate. And obviously the last 3 months, 4 months of the relationship was just... It was just bickering and over stupid shit. But the issue is, I think as a female, she built loads of resentment. Like, I'm in a lot of resentment. Like, our closure chat was bad, bro. She literally listed 10 to 15 things about the relationship that she fucking hated. I was like, what? I've never met someone that literally listed 15 things that annoyed her. And it was like silly stuff like the toilet seat being up or the shoes being not taken out, and like, I'm like, what the fuck? And then towards the end of the relationship, obviously she needed money to help her with some funding. And I just said to her, look, I don't think I should be helping you any further because one, we're not even together anymore. And two, you're asking for money and, you know, and like, one, we're not together, and two, she was speaking to someone else, and someone that I already knew.
Wait, 1 minute. So
whilst you guys were together?
Yeah. So whilst we were together, we went on this business trip to like skiing, and she met this guy. We're all in the same circle. I was like, cool, he's friends. And she said it's friends, and I was like, there's no harm in a woman having guy mates and networking, cool. And this guy,
I don't know.
Yeah, and this guy does property as well. So anyway, this guy apparently was speaking to her on DMs. Well, I seen the chat, and so one of the things that I think that hurt the most, what she said, was that this guy takes her mind off things, because all this guy speaks about is going on walks and books and fucking climbing mountains and all this shit.
Fairy tale.
And all I ever talk about is business. And then I just said to her, listen, what else am I supposed to speak about with you? Your business is a mess. You're literally crumbling. Like, you're in a dark, deep hole. Who else is going to tell you what to do and how to fix it? Like, I'm literally telling you what to do to fix your business, to help you as your partner. And then what you're doing is like trying to take your mind off things, talk about fucking walks and books and like, not going to fix it. And I literally said that to her on the last day of our official meet. And then after that, the toxic shit started. And I just said to her, you're making a big mistake. Like, and then I literally said to her on the last day, I said, either you block this guy or you have me, and I'll support you and I'll help you and I'll even give you the money that you needed. Just block him. And she's like, no, you're not letting me have friends. I was like, Julia, that's not friends. Like, that's taking the piss.
Wait. Yeah, they were speaking in the DM, but what was going on? Like she said, you take my mind off things. Were they doing anything outside of that?
Well, obviously, I don't know to this extent. The guy lived 100 miles away, so it's not like she would have.
Yeah, it's not like she should go meet him whenever.
From the chat, there was a lot of flirting. There was too much flirting that already took place, and it took place, I think, 2-3 weeks ago anyway, but I let it slide.
Stuff that shouldn't be happening in a relationship.
Stuff that shouldn't be happening. I let it slide before because I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, so when I first seen the messages, I was like, shit. But I was out with her and we were filming content for my social media, so I was like, fuck, there's no point getting into an argument and then ruining my day. So I was like, shit, I'll speak about this later with her. So I just carried on. I cracked on with my day. Knowing she did that shit, I did call her out. She goes, oh, I didn't know he was cheating. I didn't know he was flirting. I'm like, I did put it on my Instagram, but I recorded the whole chat and I told her, show it to your friends and say it was me and tell me what they say. Her friends responded saying, oh, he's cheating. That's borderline bad. You can't do that. It's wrong. It's fucking horrible. And then
that's a G play from you. Yeah, it's smart play.
And then I said to her,
motherfucker be throwing out game.
And then I said to her, now tell your friends it was you. And they were like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. I'm like, yeah, that's bad. Like, can you not see how this is fucked up? Anyway, I let that slide. And then towards the last day of our relationship is when I told her to block the guy. And she's like, no. And then the last day was a fucked up one. And then that's when basically I left the house and I said, look, I'm not going to be able to help you anymore with money. We're not together. You're fucking speaking to another guy. And we've already been split 3 days. So after being split for 3 days, she's speaking to this guy behind my back, full on combos. I'm like, so you got time to sit there and chat and send paragraphs, but you got time to fix your business or also help the relationship. I was like, fuck. So I gave her that option to block him or keep me, and she didn't want to do it, and then she just started crying. It just went horrible and toxic. I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck was in her head, but it just went really weird. And then the issue was that day I had to go to a meeting. So I had to leave her house and drive to a meeting. So I knew all this shit had fucked up, and she was like, I'm going to pack your things, you're going to leave the house. I was like, cool, that's fine. Before I left her house, I went back in. I tried to get my laptop, but she wouldn't return. And then before I left, I got my passport, my driving license, I got my Cartier watch, I got my straps. But I left my dog documents because they're all in the safe. So I opened my safe and grabbed my most my valuable items. I left everything else. All my clothes were there because I didn't think she'd fucking start nicking my clothes and nicking my stuff. So I grabbed what I could and got in the car. I went to my meeting. Half an hour later, I'm driving on the motorway. I get a call from the police and they're like, there's been an allegation of assault. I'm like, what? And like, yeah, your ex-partner's called and made an allegation of assault. I'm like, you joking? Are you fucking joking? I've never touched a girl. And they go, yeah, we advise you to stay away from her. If you were there any longer, you would have been arrested. I'm like, arrested? I was like, mate, this girl's gone from like... And it's really weird because the night before, I asked her, do you love me? Do you still have any care? She goes, yeah, I love you and I care for you, but it's a fucked up type of love. And then one day later, you're calling the cops on me. It is fucked. It's weird. And I've got all the proof because I started to record it all towards the end. So even the police phone call I recorded, the arguments I recorded. So it's not like I'm chatting shit. I've got it all. And I was shocked, bro. So I'm still driving to my meeting. So I get to my meeting and they're like, shit. So I told my mentor what happened. We were supposed to meet him. Me and my missus were supposed to meet him. So I said, look, we're not together no more. Obviously, here's what happened. And he was like, shit. And I cracked on with the day, did my content, did my stuff, and literally soared through whilst dealing with this shit. I broke down as well, which was really bad. But I just went through it. And the next day I was like, so can I collect my stuff? No response. Can I collect my dog? No response. I had no response for the next whole week, and I didn't realise this till now, but she basically blocked me, but all the texts were going through, so I thought she was reading them. And then on the Thursday, I told my dad to speak to her because she wouldn't speak to me, so I was blocked. So she'd only speak to my dad, which is really fucking weird. So I tried to get all my things back and my dog and my laptop, and she basically arranged for me to collect my stuff on Saturday. But then on a Friday, I get a text from her from her mum, saying that if you want your dog back, you've got to pay me £6,000 plus. I was like, what? Yeah, for what? I was like, what? At first I was shocked because I was like, why the fuck are you trying to claim money off me when you're the one who owes me money? You got my dog. It's really weird. They're both, her and her mum were trying to blackmail me. And I only didn't realise what it was for. So below the text message, they sent a tenancy agreement. And it's really fucked up because when I moved in with her, I needed to submit to the bank that I lived there because I did live there. But because all my address and my driving license and passport is to my old home, I don't have any proof saying that I live there. So I got Julia to make a fake tenancy agreement. Julia's my partner, my ex now. I got her to make a fake tenancy agreement so I could submit it to the bank. And so they could send my bank card to my new address. And then she used that to claim money off me. So she's now saying that I owe her for like 8 months rent. When I fucking don't. And it's a fake agreement. And it's really fucked up because like on the agreement, it's like my name and Julia, the landlord, and then fucking the 5-year lease. I'm like, hang on, you kicked me out. First of all, you broke every tenancy law there is. You can't kick me out. If this tenancy agreement is real, then I've got rights. You can't be fucking going and changing locks, kicking me out of the house. No, there was loads of shit. So they were like, you need to pay me money, and then you'll get your dog. Obviously, I was like, no fucking way. I tried to sort it out with her mum. Her mum was being bitter as fuck.
I actually saw that.
Yeah, it was bad, bro.
I don't know how you kept your cool, to be honest with you.
So this is the issue now. Like, as a brown male, I can't do much really, can I? I can't go fucking sort of slapping her up.
I don't think anybody can do that, man.
Yeah. And obviously, I'm not even that sort of person anyway. I think they were expecting me to do that, which is really weird because
that's what they were pushing for.
Yeah, I think they were really trying to push me to do that. Like, I could even see when I was at her house that she was pressuring me to do something because she was like, I'm not giving you a laptop, I'll log it out. And her friend was there on the side secretly filming, which I now realise after because her friend sent the footage to someone and I got the footage and I was like, oh shit, you've got a good angle. So I used her friend's footage as part of my evidence as well. But her friend was recording the whole drama. And then her mum got really fucking toxic as well, like aggressive. Oh, this is a bad place to be, man. So I got to get out of it. it just went really fucked up and weird.
It looked, from what I saw, it just looked like a bit of desperation, to be honest.
Yeah.
It
From
looked
her
like,
side.
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, of course,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's not you, bro.
Yeah, I was upset for my dog, yeah.
It just looked like just clinging on to everything and anything to try and suck something out of someone.
You know what? It's funny you say that. That's what my friend said. So he said the only reason you're still hung up on her is because she's got your stuff. If she didn't have your stuff, you wouldn't be thinking about her. And I was like, mate, you know what? You're right, because she's still got my laptop, still got my dog documents, still got some of my clothes. Why won't she just give it back? It don't make sense at all. Like,
How recent is the split, by the way?
Like 2 months. Well, obviously now we're in month 2 now, so literally 2 months. For 2 months, is it 2 months now?
I don't
Probably
fucking
a
know.
month.
You're asking me, bro. I don't know your relationship.
I think it's like a month now, really. It's not even been too long. It's still fresh. Generally still fresh.
So, I mean, you were talking about your businesses as if they were 2 separate entities,
Yeah.
but there was also a business that you were joint with, right?
Yeah, so me and my ex-partner, we had a company together. So we used to have 2 properties in them, but now we had 1 property. And now the issue is, she's a director and I'm a director. Obviously, I'm managing the property and doing the daily operations, and so should she. The issue is, after the breakup, she became toxic. So I got a solicitor to engage in a conversation with her and try and get her to either resign from the company and pay back the company's debts, because she loaned money from the company to help her. And I said, yeah, it's fine. You've got to give it back. She said, that's fine. But I'm in a fucked up place right now, mate. Like, I'm getting no response from this ex at all. Emails, nothing. The company is in debt, which I'm still having to like repay for, which is bad. I'm doing all the operations myself at the moment, which is fine because I'm good at that. But it is drama, bro. No one needs this sort of shit.
What about legalities and stuff like that? I mean, are you...
I'm just stuck. What the hell are you supposed to do when you've got a partner who's in a company with you that's not responding, no emails, no contact, doesn't even open anything? I even texted her the other day, didn't open it. That was on another number. She's even ignoring the solicitors. If she's going to ignore the solicitors, she's going to respond to me. So at the moment, I'm stuck in this company. I'm debating whether to just resign and shut it down or just let it just flunk, because there's not much I can do, bro, at all. Like, unless I move the property out of there, move it to another company.
Say, can't you do that?
Yeah, I can, but
And
I don't want
just
to
shut it down?
Yeah, I could do, but I don't want to lose a 6 months trading history, because it's a nice company as well. It's been running over 6 months, so if you've got a nice record
But if the company's in debt, the record's going to be
but
tarnished pretty soon.
Well, the debt is being recovered by my own costs. I'm repaying the debt.
How much debt is it, if you don't mind me asking?
It's $3,000 worth of debt. Still a lot of money, but it shouldn't really be in debt, should it? If she didn't take the money out. And it's only got 1 property, bear in mind. If it had 2, 3, 4, it would have been fine. But because there's 1 property keeping the whole company afloat and the debt, it's hard, man. So I'm just debating on what to do. Like, if she does respond in the next month, then to see. But as you know, it's already been 2 months since the breakup, and I've had no contact. I think if by month 6 she's not insured, and be like, maybe I need to respond.
So, I mean, is it safe to say that you won't be going into business with any future partners then?
Yeah, mate, I've learned a lesson. or if I do, the contract needs to be different. So, like, what I've learned is what you should do if you're going to go into a business with someone and into a company on a split share, always have the upper vote, either like 55, 45 or like 60, 40. Don't have 50-50, because now I'm stuck in this place where I can't kick her out and she can't kick me out, because we both have the equal right to share, which is really bad, isn't it?
Well, that's if your fucking partnership goes tits up, though.
Yeah. Or if
the way that I'm sorry to cut you up, you're saying have, let's say 55, 45.
Yeah.
If we started a business though, and like, for instance, I said to Chris, I want 55 and you'll have 45, so I've got majority vote.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine many people agreeing to that.
Well,
do you get what I'm saying?
Well, this is the issue. Or
would you agree to that?
Well, see.
I'd say 70-30 me, dickhead.
Well, see, this is the issue. This is the issue. Or you'd get a third person on board.
Yeah.
And just have the third person just sitting there. But it's really hard, though. It's really hard. Like, there's not really a way around doing it, unless you have 51-49, which probably could work. But then it depends on the person. Like, I'm not a better person. Like, as you can tell, I'm still trying to sort this shit out even after the breakup. Like, I think you just got to trust the person and just know them. But But to go back to her, she wasn't like this at the start. Like, she wasn't a bitter, horrible person. I don't know what's made her toxic.
Did you do anything wrong
in the relationship?
Mm.
No, I didn't cheat. I didn't talk to any other girls. The most fucked up thing is I did more for her business and help her than I did for myself, which is weird because when I'm looking back now, I devoted so much time to helping her than I did to myself. I sort of neglected my business and let it go down, only because I was trying to help her and grow her business and get her on a stable feet that I actually let go of mine. But I didn't. In my head, I didn't do anything wrong. I think maybe what I could have done more was maybe taken her out more and did less work and a bit more adventures.
But that's just girl shit, though.
That's just girl shit.
A girl's always gonna want that.
Oh shit! There's one more thing that I learnt in this relationship that I've never learnt before. It's called acts of service.
Right.
So this girl,
the love language.
Yeah,
Act of service.
She really had a specific one. I didn't know what it was at the start. I was like, what? And then only now, after reading a few books, do I know what the hell it is. So like, acts of service is where some women will fall in love with you for certain things. So let me give you an example. So some women will just love you for the fact that if you buy her flowers and surprise them, not it's fucking flowers. Obviously, I've never ever done it. So I'm like, why on earth would I spend £10 for flowers? It's wasting money.
I think for girls it's a different thing. More than the flowers, it's like the thought that they went out and got.
Yeah, no, but
he's a cold motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, no, but this girl was proper. She was like, I want flowers. I'm like, damn. And then every time I bought a flower, she loved it. It was amazing. But then if I bought flowers on the wrong day where she was angry, she's like, no, you only buy me flowers because we had an argument. I don't want them now. I was like, shit, so I can't really win here. And another acts of service for her was doing stuff that would benefit her, like around the house or cleaning up or taking the bins out. That's her love. That was her love language, which I didn't really know till I've experienced it. Like no one teaches guys or men about acts of service and love languages. You just don't learn it unless you read a book and you know what it is. But I didn't know any of this shit before. Like,
I'll be real with you, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just different, but I think it's just second nature.
Nah, mate.
Yeah, that's kind of the way that I was thinking.
Nah, mate, you don't wake up and be like, you know what? I need to buy her flowers so I can keep her happy.
Not like that.
I don't know whether it comes from like growing up with my mom and like just how she was with me. I'm not sure, but like I buy my mom flowers to this day, the same way that I buy my girl.
Yeah.
Just I didn't.
Not every day.
Not every day, but like I don't know if I go to the supermarket, I'm just like, oh, you know what, like do something nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No. Honestly, Jariz, I think it's because I'm so used to being an entrepreneur and just working. Like, honestly, my day is literally like just working, like shut off, straight work. Like, my dog's there, I'm like working, stay away. Maybe because I'm so used to that sort of life and never ever had to do these sort of. Plus, me and her did live together, and I've never lived with a girl in England before, so it was like trying to learn.
Maybe it was because you guys moved in so soon.
Maybe, you know. I think one other thing that
I think not maybe. I think definitely.
I mean,
because my girlfriend wasn't even my girlfriend at the 3 month mark, 4 month mark.
Shit.
I'm seeing somebody. I'm digesting this person. Does this person fit into my life?
Well, I think
as an entrepreneur, for a girl to come into your life, it's not a normal relationship.
Yeah.
Because especially at the stages where we're at, where we're in a building phase, realistically, we haven't achieved everything we want to achieve, right? So for them to come into our lives at this point, you have to understand the business comes first.
This is the issue, yeah. This is what I was trying to...
She can't do that.
Handle,
to be fair,
you're with the wrong guy.
To be fair, though, I'm going to play devil's advocate on your side, but like, you would have thought, as she was a business owner, that she would have understood that, being in the exact same space as well.
But is she as legit as you, though?
Yeah. So, hard working. I mean, when we was living together, it was amazing. Like, we'd both wake up.
Oh, you! Yeah, you. I know you're looking at yourself right now and you're thinking, why am I not subscribed to the Gooms Podcast? Just f***ing do it then, because it helps the boys out more than you actually know. Peace.
Get a coffee, eat, straight to work, in the office. It was amazing. This is why I said that the first 6 months was so cool, because our routines were bang on the same. Work, business, viewings, painting, work, same shit. I was like, this is the best. And everyone loved it. Like, on our Instagram, everyone's like, you guys are the best property couple, like power couple. It was goals. It was really good because we did the exact same shit. So there's no clashing at all. Like, there was no clashing. I think for her, probably the downside for her was when she'd get home, there'd be no one to cook and clean the house because it'd both be out. So maybe that was like a bit of a downer because her last relationship wasn't with an entrepreneur, it was with like a normal 9-to-5 guy. So what she was used to before was coming home, everything's done, clean, cooked, job done. Simp, yes, yeah, simp like, and she did say that. And towards the end of that relationship, she basically said the only reason she stayed with that guy was because everything was done. Like she'd get home, cooking's done, cleaning's done, everything's done. Like it's so easy. But
sounds like a piece of work, bro. Sorry, but
what the girl? Yeah, she's Polish, so she's.
One thing that my mom said to me, I had this thought when I said about you guys moving in so fast. Yeah. I mean, one thing that my mom said to me always was like, you never truly know someone until you see them around other people.
Yeah,
and it's like that. Like you never even had those experiences to see that girl around like all of these different people, family members, her family members, how she treated people.
So when I first experienced that was on that skiing trip.
That was the first time
where she met that guy. Oh. So maybe if we had gone on a trip.
Red flag.
Yeah, maybe if we'd gone. To be honest, it wasn't a red flag at the time because she didn't do anything wrong. She just got to know friends. But you know, I don't know what fucked her. But all I can say from my side is I didn't do anything wrong, and I just tried to help the bird. But it's also her friends. Like if you have really toxic friends, which what she had, it's not going to make anything good. Like I think what I've learned in my last relationship is if you ever have like an argument in your relationship, don't go telling your friends because how are they going to advise you to fix your relationship if they haven't got the skills or the experience? So obviously her friends.
And as well, one thing as well, I think Tate said it is we have a little argument. You run to your girls, oh my god, and then he's a dick, he's this, he's that. Not only are those thoughts and those feelings going to start being kind of subconsciously in the back of your head, how many times did you go and say the amazing stuff that happened?
That's exactly what I was saying to her. So
you're just going to go and you're going to say the bad stuff and the bad stuff and the bad stuff and the bad stuff. And 3 months of bad stuff's come up and it's like, why are you still with that dick?
And then guess what? Now her friends hate me. And then I was saying to her, listen, why are you telling your friends? Because they all hate me now. And she goes, yeah, but that's because you did that. I'm like, I know, but how am I going to fix their view now? I'm not, because I don't spend time with them. They're not with me. It's not going to change. She goes, no, I'll tell them you did good stuff. I'm like, it's a bit late now because they hate me. So as you can imagine, where me and her are falling apart and her friends are fucking slating me. It's just getting worse, bro, and worse. So yeah, I think that's probably the biggest key. Like, don't let the bird tell our friends anything bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, moving on from the relationship, I mean, what have you learned from it?
It's changed me a lot as a person. Obviously, become a little bit wiser. I've learned a lot of things about women and how they behave, how money affects relationships, how money can affect a business as well. I've also learned how to live with a woman as well. There's certain things you need to do with a woman when you're living with, like helping out with the cleaning, the cooking, all this basic stuff. But it just needs to be done to a really high level where you're giving her value basically. And then I think another key part is not to move in with a woman, let her move in with you, because now the masculine roles are like switched, aren't they? Mm-hmm. So that's another thing that I learned is don't move in with her.
That's one thing when you said my flat, her house made the most sense. I mean, for me, I could just never like, babe, why don't you just come move in with me? Like I don't know. But you had the complication of the dog as well, which I suppose makes a difference. And
then at that time, I was like, you know what, this is a fresh start. Let's just check it out. But like I said, it was good at the start. But I don't know what made it toxic, bro. I have no idea. Maybe personally, I think it was just a business side. Like, if her business was good and life is fine, I don't think we ever would have fallen out at all.
But maybe you dodged a bullet. Because what happens if in 2 years...
Oh, this is what everyone's saying.
You have a plummet.
Yeah, what if you had a child and she did that?
Right, everything happens for a reason, man. Everything.
Well, that's the same way that I see life anyway. Like, everything happens for a reason. Like, even when I met her, I was like, I must have met her for a reason. And the dog thing must have happened for a reason. Like, this doesn't make any sense for me to go to Bali, come back, meet her, move in. It doesn't make sense. But I've learned a lot of things over the whole journey. And it's really broadened my eyes as well. Especially business lessons. Like, trust is a massive thing. And even getting to know someone is not to rush into it now. I think now I promised myself for the next 2 years I'm staying single, minimum, just to focus on myself.
How old are you?
26 now.
26.
So I met her. So I started business when I was like 20, 21 maybe, I think, yeah. So a long time now, but I should have had the wife now.
It's okay, bro. I'll come.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move away from the relationship. I want to ask you about your actual business, what your day-to-days look like, and effectively the empire that you're building. You said earlier you have, at the moment, 30...
No, so at my peak, I used to have 35 properties.
Yeah.
35, that's a mixture of
What was that
houses and flats. It was good. Like, the turnover was massive. So there was like 50k revenue plus every month. It was good. There was a lot of headache, and I used to have a large team. See, the more properties you have, the more hassle and stress that you have as well. I enjoyed it at the start, and it was good, but I just wanted to release some stress. And the issue is when you have staff and employees, and they start to fall ill, to fall sick, it's just a lot of hassle that you got to deal with. Now, obviously, I was living in Bali at the time, and having staff on the ground is very hard to manage. So what I did was I came back. I decided, you know what, I'm going to downsize. I'm going to cut the smaller units, only keep them larger, profitable properties. So I downsized from 35 all the way to like 22, I think now I've got. So I cut down all that, and then I sacked a few members of my staff. So I got rid of the ground.
What do you have staff for in a service to com business? Management?
So you have your 2 VAs. Well, I've got my 2 VAs, and then you have a staff member on the ground to do the ground checks, and then you have your cleaners. So I basically decided, you know what, I don't need 2 VAs, I needed 1. So I sacked 1 and got 1 VA. I don't need the grounds manager because there's nothing for her to do. Because now we're on 22 properties. There's nothing really for her to do because all the properties are booked out. It's quiet. She's literally getting paid 1.6 a month to just sit around. So I sacked her.
She probably loved her job.
Yeah, she did. It was
Best job ever.
It was piss easy. All she had to do was go into a property, check the bulb, check and see if there's any, like, let's say, are you coming to a property, there's a mug that's dirty, either replace it, give it a wash, put it back in. Simple. Little things like that. If there's forks missing, replace the forks. Her job was piss easy. And I just thought, you know what, we've been running this business for years, and there's been no issues. There's no point in you being employed. So I got rid of that. I used to employ my brother as well, but this is another story. And I let go of him as well because he wasn't doing a good job. So now my business effectively runs off VAs and outsourced workers, which is amazing because my overheads now are piss easy, bro. Like, so much better. And guess what? Peaceful. Because now I'm waking up, I'm not getting complaints from staff falling sick. I'm not having to rush around to find a replacement cleaner, find a replacement staff worker. It's so peaceful. My day-to-day looks like I wake up, eat, feed my dog, say hello to her, and because it's so quiet, there's literally frick all to do. I'm now focusing on doing other ventures. I'm looking at doing business buying, where you buy and acquire businesses that are already set up and running. I want to get into HMOs, which is house to multiple occupancy. So I want to diversify now. Because this whole Airbnb business is so streamlined, it's really quiet now. Obviously, I am still going to expand to other cities, so Manchester, Liverpool, Derby. I'm still growing that, which is fine.
So where are all 22 properties based in Birmingham?
Yeah, all Birmingham, and 2 in Manchester, so 2 in Manchester and then the rest in Birmingham. So I've already built a good portfolio in Birmingham, but I just want to scale out now, which I'll still do. But right now, the focus is to get into business and mergers, which is where you just buy them. So I'm looking at a cafe, looking at a lounge. Ideally, I would love to buy a hotel, but they're big numbers. So
How's that 50k a month? How much is left profit?
Oh, fucking...
You can just be rough numbers.
No, well, let me give you... I don't have the figures on me, but let me quickly do the rough working out. So 35 flats I had, mixture of 2... Let me quickly do my rent times by 35. So, let me give you a rough figure: 1,000 times 35. So, £1,000 per rent per month in rent times by 35 flats. That's £35,000 a month. And if I'm bringing in 50 grand in revenue, that's 50. My maths is really shit, so I need to work it out. It's 15k profit on that, which is really good. But obviously, that's just a rough revenue. I've probably made a lot more than that because we had loads of one beds, and one beds are not £1,000; they're like £700, and 2 beds are like more. But we made a lot of money from that, and I just got really bored of it now because it was just boring. And that's basically that's what enabled me to move to Bali. That's why I was there for so long, because like we were churning over so much money. I just lived in Bali for a whole year.
What's living in Bali like? Obviously low overheads, nice weather.
Mate.
With the dog as well.
Yeah, Bali's paradise. I'll be honest with you, it's paradise.
We haven't been yet.
Have you not gone?
No.
You know, once you go, you'll fall in love. I don't think you'd probably be here anymore. I still don't get why you're here as a business owner.
But Bali's a place that I'm like, the peacefulness, the nature,
It's,
and everything's very me.
There's loads of marketing agencies there, and SEO guys and entrepreneurs. It's full of nomads, completely full.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to move there, because my business was so streamlined. I thought, you know what, where can I move to as a digital nomad? And when you Google it, Bali comes up first. I was like, oh, shit, let's check it out. So I just booked that one-way ticket. But Bali's the one, like, it's literally paradise. As soon as you wake up, sun, blue seas, the vibe, everyone's happy. No one's miserable in Bali, which is the good thing. Like, even if you're broke or poor, or rich or poor, everyone's the same level in Bali. Like, you can't get judged, which is really weird. Because
what about like food and shit though? Like,
oh, bro, I've heard that the food is supposed to be banging, man.
So the food, you can get everything you can get in England, but probably there better. So whatever you want here, you can get it there. So there's chippies, there's pizza shops, there's the local cuisine, there's steaks, everything.
I was watching a Mike Thurston video, and like 6 of them went out to go and eat, like his whole team, and it was like something like £30, and they all had like 3-course like steak and everything.
Obviously,
dessert, starters.
obviously you
like,
can eat cheap and you can eat expensive, but you can get everything there. Like, it's this is the reason why I moved, because I was like, why am I paying rent to live in England when I can pay the same rent to live in Bali? And it was better. So that's what I did. I do want to go back though. I was supposed to go last month, but I'm planning to go over next month now. But I just need to get my mum to take care of my dog now. So this is the issue. Now that I've got my dog, I can't leave forever.
this dog has done a lot of, like, obviously I don't want to shit on your dog or anything, but like,
yeah, it's just a best friend now. Like, my dog was part of my Bali life, so I brought her in Bali. We lived to go to Bali. She's the one that kept me going in Bali. Like, every time I was down, I always had her. So she'll always be part of my Bali journey, which is sad though, because when I go back to Bali, I'm not going to have her with me and go on the motorcycle. Why? Because to take the dog back to Bali is £3,000 plus, the hassle and stress, and then to bring her back, and then
what are you going to do with the dog then?
Staying in the UK with my mum, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, but again, like I said, I'm not going to go to Bali to live now. I can't live anywhere else now unless I move my dog. So I can only go to do business, work, and then come back. So short trips at a time. But my next plans in Bali is to build a tree house. So that's going to be like 2 to 3 months away. So
can we'll be the first ones to try it out, or what?
I'll give you a tip. We can do a podcast sitting on the bamboos.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Only if you put family friends discount on it though.
Yeah. So that's my next plan. So businesses, buying businesses, HMOs, and ideally the end goal, the Bali venture.
Do you find property exciting?
Yeah, no, like, again, property is so boring at times. Like, generally, like, once you've got your Airbnb units and they're set up, you just got to sit back and wait. Now, it's like what you were saying earlier, like, you've got your 1 bed, right? Or was it the house that you got?
No, it's 3 bed.
The 3 bed. It's just quiet now, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's nothing to do. Generally nothing to do, which is good because you can do whatever you want. But I really want something that excites me, which is why the Bali project is going to be exciting, like having your own tree house there. That's going to be good. And then buying businesses here. So I want to have a cafe. I think that's going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Dope. Why would you want to get into a brick and mortar business though?
Just diversification. I want to diversify. I don't want to have all my eggs in Airbnb or have all my eggs in property, in HMOs. I want to have different streams. Like a shisha lounge is one pot.
More so like a passion project than...
Yeah, and obviously diversification and money, yeah. I think I'm really passionate about the shisha things. I love shisha. I always wanted to be. I actually have my own shisha business in Bali, but I'm doing shisha deliveries, not a lounge. So I want to do a lounge.
Wait, so how does that work?
So we've got loads of pipes in Bali, loads of shisha pipes, and we've got loads of flavours. Someone orders on the site, and then someone goes out and sends it to them. It's like a delivery service.
And then collection, of course.
And then we pick it up, and we just charge for the whole pipe and the flavours. It's really easy, yeah.
That's dope.
It's good, but I want to have a lounge. It's just better,
Yeah.
You want to create something, don't you?
You can sit there and be like, this is mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that, yeah. One thing I will tell you, though, from experience is that a brick and mortar business is a lot harder than you setting up your Airbnbs and sitting back and it being streamlined. That's one thing I will say, like, you have to obviously employ heavily and have trust in the employees if you still want to kind of live the life that you've got.
Yeah, true.
Or be prepared to be there.
Yeah, 100%. But I think this is where the power of branding comes into play. Like, if you're really good at marketing and branding, you can literally kill it. And that's my strongest point. So I'm really good at the social side, but I'm also good at the SEO. But I feel like if I create a really good shisha brand, market it, I'll be easy to be able to kill it. Like, all you need is good branding and design and interiors. And
is it purpose that you're looking for? Almost.
What do you mean?
Well, you said that you find like property a bit boring sometimes because you kind of just sit back and do, like, there's not really that much to do.
Yeah.
Do you find that gives you purpose or not? And like this, creating something like a shisha lounge or a cafe, and you had a few of them.
Yeah, I
feel
think
like that would give you more purpose.
I think my purpose was always to grow the cash flow and have as many businesses as possible. I think my end goal is to ideally retire my parents and
sick. Yeah,
I give them a home and house that they want. That's the end goal. Obviously, I could have done it last year or the year before if I didn't spunk it all out in Bali. But again, all these things you learn as you mature as a person. Like, when I was building the business, I wasn't very mature, but over the last 5 years of doing business and dating ex misses and learning all these things, you sort of mature as a person.
Yeah.
I think Bali was the best because it humbles you as a person. So if I didn't go Bali, I'd still be interested in design and all this bullshit. But now I don't look twice at designer.
What humbled you?
The Bali life. So when you go there, you actually realise that people are really happy with £300 a month as a salary. So there's Indonesians who are happy to earn just £200 to £300 a month, and they're fucking happy. Kids, wife, everything, really happy. I'm like, what? I was like, you're joking, no? I'm like, yeah, this is our life.
I struggle with that on a weekly basis.
Does that not counteract your argument from the start of the pod saying that money is the most important thing?
No, because obviously where we live in...
Good you.
No, obviously where we live in the UK, in England, it's not the same as Bali. Like,
yeah, I hear that.
In England, if you don't have money, you're going to crumble and eventually lose your home. So you need money here.
Yeah.
In Bali, you can still survive on a very small, minuscule amount. But obviously, I'm not Indonesian. We're not in a third world country. We're in the UK, we need money. We need it. It's not like we have to. It's not like it's an extra option. You have to have it. As an Indonesian, like these people on scooters and these kids, they don't really look at money like, oh, I need it. If I don't need it, I'm going to die. They're still really happy, content with their lives, bro. It's really weird. Like, I can't explain it too much without you physically going there and experiencing it and saying, oh my God, everyone's fucking happy. Even the workers happy. I'm like, shit. So then when I came back to England, I was like, oh my God, you can literally feel the negative energy of the people here. It's so bad. Like, it's miserable. And when I went back to Bali, I was like, shit, this is the place to be. It's just the vibe and the energy is so different there.
Yeah.
And then I also learnt about, like, I think when I was starting the business, I used to love designer clothing. I used to love all the Gucci and Balenciaga, all this shit. Now, try and stay away from it because, one, it doesn't matter what you wear. It's who you are as a person. Like having the most expensive shoes isn't going to make you any richer or make you any better. Because when you go to Bali, you're both wearing slippers, you're both driving the same scooter, and they're both driving the same battered scooter. You'll treat the same. So that was a learning curve for me. So when I came back to the UK, I don't look twice at designer. I haven't bought a single piece of designer since Bali. It's been 2 years now.
I think everybody that falls into money has that phase, don't they?
Yeah.
Where they're like...
It's not always a phase for everybody, though, to be fair.
What do you mean?
Some people just don't see it as a phase. Some people just like wear designer their entire life.
I think it's because if you're brought up around money and you're parents are fucking millionaires and you're rich, then you're not going to look twice at it. You don't care. But if you come from a background where you don't have money, you're poor, like working class, your parents are working like mine, like we don't have much when we're growing up, it's going to be the next goal. Like you want this, you want that, want that. And eventually you'll mature out of it now. So
I think a lot of it as well. Well, for me in particular, it came in like youth stages.
Yeah, youth.
And a lot of it was, well, for me, to be honest, it was probably validation. Like
friends.
No, not friends,
bro. It's like you see the rappers wearing it and everything like that, or these like social media guys. And it's like you go to the club and
that was the main thing.
Let me get this sick tea because it's gonna get me some things or something like that.
Remember that time when Palm Angels was a massive hype? That was mental. The brand just came out of nowhere, and it was like £300 a jacket. And I actually bought two, and I was like, oh, this is the exact same as my Nike one. Exact same. All it was just had a stripe on the... I still bought it.
I get secondhand embarrassment from my previous self when I see like, photos of how I used to be.
Like, it's so bad. Like, I don't wear my Palm Angels anymore because it's so cringe. I don't want to be in that.
I vented everything off. I did.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah.
I still to do that. Yeah.
Got the missus to do it.
Oh, you still got a missus? Mine's gone, boy. Mine's gone, man.
To anybody that wanted to get into property, get into the serviced accommodation space, what would be a couple of things that you would say to them to start tomorrow from zero? What would be your roadmap to get to the 22 properties that you're at now?
If you're going to get into property and the whole Airbnb model and you've already got a job, I would say keep the job as long as possible to use that funding to fund more ventures. Because as you start to scale and as you start to get more properties, one of the things you're going to get stuck with is your pay slips. The agents want to see if you've got a stable income with one. Obviously, the company is still fresh, so you're going to have no back in there. But they want to see if you're earning enough and you've got a stable job. Obviously, you could have loads of properties anyway, but if they want more backing. So I would say keep the job as long as possible. And then only at a point where you're making enough money to sustain your income and that and extra, then leave. That's one. Two, if you can, try and do joint ventures where you can. It's easy to scale. You'll learn more. It's less workload. Like if you're doing a joint venture on a 3-4 bedroom house, it's a massive house. You know, the painting, the workloads. Try and do more if you can, with the right people, of course. Don't do it with anyone. 3, have contracts in place for everything, even joint ventures, even with the landlords and the agents, make sure it's tight-knit. So,
what about like cleaners and shit like that?
Cleaners, we don't really have contracts because they're like outsourced workers, so it doesn't really make a difference. They're not your internal staff, so we don't employ staff ourselves. It's all outsourced, so it's a separate company, so we don't have contracts with them. It don't really matter. Only if you're employing staff self-employed by you, then you would, but I don't think you'd probably want to do that. I used to do that, and we used to do it when we had loads of properties, but as we went back down to 20, you don't need it. It's a waste of money. It's too much headache. You only should do that when you're at like 35 plus 50 units where you have your own internal staff because it's cheaper. That's pretty much it. And 2, funding is a massive thing. So the only way you're gonna be able to get funding in this sort of world now is investors, social media, building that social proof. So as soon as you get one property, just start documenting the whole journey. That's what I started to do. And that's why everyone follows me, because they know that I post property crap every day and my journey. And, oh, you're that property guy. So if you're going to get into property and you want to start building a business or anything into Airbnb, you need to start documenting that whole journey. And it's really fun though. Like, I'll give you an example. If you just picked up the keys, just take a photo of the keys and stick it online. If you're doing a bit of painting or doing a renovation, time lapse it, make content on it, put it online, show the befores and afters, and that's one whole journey you've done. You can use that and keep going again and again. And as you start to get your second unit, you've got more content. So by the time that 6 months has passed, you've got so much content, you can start to raise finance and then scale from there. So it's really easy to basically rinse and repeat.
I want to ask you a personal question.
Go on.
For me.
Yeah.
I'm at 1. How quickly, how soon, what kind of indicators do you have when you say, okay, right, now it's time for number 2?
Whenever. There is no indicator. There's literally no indicator. Like, if you want to get 2, then you can easily get 2 if you wanted to. Why would you sit back and just wait?
You're not waiting for a certain like amount of liquid, because obviously if you're going to find a deal, you're going to furnish the deal, you're going to have to pay a month's rent up front. You're going to have to.
Obviously, you can. So, as you set up another unit, it's going to cost another few thousand anyway. So you can either wait if you to rebuild the cash flow and then go again, or just get an investor on board, or get someone to loan you $5,000, $6,000, set the property up, and then pay them back every month a set return. That's one way of doing it. Or the bad way to do it is to do it off your cash flow, which is the bad way, which I've done in the past loads. So what I mean by that is, even if there's not enough money in the account, because you know your current property, the 3-bed or 2-bed, is already bringing in money, you can use that money that's coming in to leverage and put it into the new units. And now, hopefully, if you've done it in time, you would have 2 units cash flowing, so then you can afford to pay the rent and stuff. So
don't do that.
Don't do that. But it works. But it only works at scale. It won't work if you've got 1 unit. Obviously, I've got a load. So the way we do it is, because 1 property can cover that rent, 2 properties can cover that. So you can just mix and manage, and it just works. It's really easy. But now what I recommend people do is just use credit cards. It's just better. So they can use like Amex or Capital on Tap or Zopa to get money and loan it and just put it into the business. It's better, because then there's no risk to your cash flow, is there? So that's a better way of doing it.
Dope. I think this has been a really, really valuable pod for the listeners, man.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say fucking good luck with everything you've got going on. Business and personal. And then the crossover in between. I think we know what we're talking about. Start buying her flowers. Maybe she'll start responding to you.
Mate, that is long gone now. I could probably send a box of flowers to her house, probably burn it down now.
And thank you for coming, man. Thank you for taking the time.
Appreciate it, bro.
No, thank you for bringing me on, letting me share my journey, and don't fall into a toxic relationship, boys.
We'll try. And for all of you guys at home, thank you so much for tuning in, listening, watching, all of that good stuff. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell notification on so you get notified every time we release a podcast. We'll see you all next week.
Love, we'll catch you later, guys. Thanks for listening.
Peace!